Today we're going to build a Lee enfield from, early 19th or early 20th century warfare. For this build, you'll need a cardboard box and maybe a bottle cap, duct tape of any color. I just happen to have silver with me right at the time. Some scissors. When making this, you're gonna make the stock and handle out of one sheet of the longer side of the flaps on the top flaps of the cardboard. This is what mine is going to look like. I'm only doing this accordingly to my hand, so you want to do this accordingly to your hand. You're also going to need to make 3 of these, so you're going to be able to use 1.5 boxes. Just a little tip: you always want to use the first piece as a template for the other pieces. So just throwing that out there. If you want to add depth, I would make the center piece of the handle slightly taller than all of the others, and the other 2 side panels, just to add a little more depth. Okay, judging by the size of my hand, I'm going to get away with just doing 2 templates, but most people should just do 3. Okay, you're going to want to take the duct tape. You're going to want to take the duct tape and fold it over on itself. And you're going to want to do this multiple times just to get the stock and a bit of the handle just to stay together. So, see, it's going to do that, but I'm sure if you got some brown duct tape, you could tape that over. Now it's time to make some pieces. You want the same amount of templates for the sides and the rest of your gun as you do for your stock, so I'm going to stick with 2, and that's not going to be the rest of your whole gun. You're going to need quite a bit more pieces, and I'll show you how to make those later. You're going to have something like this. You'll see it eventually. I'm going to show you guys how to make a front sight. So, first you're going to need to measure out the front of your rifle. Now, keep in mind the short magazine Lee Enfield rifle from World War I and World War II wasn't a really long rifle for back then. I mean, it's still not a long rifle, and many small countries still use it. Many small countries and third world countries still use this rifle, and police, and even the military. So you're going to need a strip of cardboard and kind of measure it out on your gun, how big or small it needs to be. I'd say it needs to be fairly small, and then where your sight is, you're going to need a little more duct tape. I'm using this humongous roll of duct tape, so I should be fine. If I run out, just don't even do this because it's too huge. I mean, each one of these little duct tape things are $1, like $1 more than they used to be back last year. But Alan, there's this thing called inflation, don't you know? Yes, I do know. I do know me from the past. Crash Course World History. And also, I'm going to use this chance for a shout out to William Shakespeare. He's on YouTube just like I am. He's inspired me to do all these awesome prop tutorials for you guys. For movies and stuff. And later, probably over the weekend, I'll announce a movie challenge, the rules and everything. I'm announcing it now, but I'm going to give out all the rules and stuff this weekend, probably sometime during the week or this weekend, one of the 2. So your front sight should look something, well, maybe not that low. The front sight's going to be the hardest part. No, maybe not. Well, let's just leave it at the front sight's going to be a hard part to do. Kind of for whenever you're making helmets, the pickelhaube, but the hardest part is going to be to Dremel the pieces of the spike and get getting them to stay on the bump cap. That was the hardest part of that. And anyway, I'm still working on that. And also I've made 2 other prop guns, little weapons. I made a kind of like a submachine gun. Like, this is more like the sniper submachine gun from TF2. But you know, it's got like you could take out the magazine. Then I made one of the more non-recognizable Panzerfaust anti-tank rockets from World War II used by the Germans. So you're gonna need to trim down. Well, I'm gonna trim down the barrel. I'm just using scrap pieces of cardboard from whenever, like, I make the other piece.
You need another beer?
I didn't pause the video. Oops. Yeah. I'm going to be doing a Draw My Life if you guys subscribe to my channel for 50 likes on this video and 30 subscribers. Such a high number. For a Draw My Life. Only I might Lego my life. Bum bum bum. Changing the perks, boys and girls. Okay, guys, you're going to need a toilet paper roll for something. It's going to be the bolt. It's not going to be a working bolt, but it's going to be a bolt for the rifle. So, if you don't have one of those, use the toilet paper now! Okay, how to bind the pieces together. Slide the pieces together like that, and you're going to just put a piece of duct tape there. You know, you're going to be able to tell this is a prop gun, so... I mean, for my sake, the video that I'm going to come out with, like a test film for this, is going to be called Prop War, like Cardboard Gun Wars. So, I mean, for me, this is a perfect prop, but for other people trying to do more of a realistic thing, I would paint over the duct tape that you don't need to be there. So. I'll show you guys how to make a trigger guard and a magazine next, after you've sealed the pieces together with duct tape. Again, just like everything else in this prop, 2 templates, for me anyway. For other people with wider hands, you might want to use 3, because your hands are just wider, but for me, I'm going 2, because my hands aren't, whenever I hold stuff, I mean, prop guns like these, they're not the widest anyway, so just, I'm chilling out with 2. But if you guys don't, if you guys are like, my hand is too wide for this by like 0.5555, like point 0.00074 zeros later, 0.00001 of a centimeter. Yeah, if you're that kind of person, or your actor is anyway, just get another gun. Do it however wide they feel comfortable. I'm being serious. So the test film for this stuff is going to be called Cardboard Warfare. So, kind of like a twist to Garden Warfare 2. If you guys have heard of that game, which, knowing you guys are my friends. Most of you are anyway. So you probably found my interest, and I know quite a bit about video games. Those of you who don't know. Those of you who don't know aren't my true friends from East Hardin and JTA. So you guys need to pay close attention. Although, Fallout 4 and Battlefront, those are my two favorite Xbox One games as of right now, so... And I don't know if I should get Halo 5 or not. Tell me in the comments what Halo 5 is like, and then I might just get it. If there are good reviews from you guys. But if not, oh well. Halo Company's lost. Well, Bungie is lost, or whoever made the Halo 5. So, I'm making a trigger guard. What you want to do with this is just make like a circle. Like a octagonal shape. I wonder how my parents are going to be whenever they see I'm making all these guns. They're probably going to be like, Alan, why are you making these guns? I'm going to say, for my fans on YouTube, that's why, my friends and family. That's why. Now, the hard part is actually getting the actual space for your finger. I am just not even going to do this, but for you guys' sake, I'm going to do it. It's just... You might be wondering why the Lee Enfield. Well, it has occurred to me that my favorite bolt-action rifle of World War I just so happens to be the Lee Enfield. Not most people who knew me don't know this.
Do you have another... When I was here last time, there was another...
My best trigger guard, and my finger doesn't fit through it. I'm not using a toilet paper roll, I'm using a paper towel roll. But you can cut this in half because you're going to need to use the rest of it for the actual, like, bolt stick thing. So what you do is you cut the paper, you take the toilet paper roll, and you cut it in the center, and you roll it up, hold on. You know, I'm just going to show you what it looks like after I'm done with that. This is the bolt in the chamber. See, the bottle cap is the handle, which would be like in a real gun. Lee Enfield. Ta-da!